by hope I will be audible on
Yes,
top
sir.
of it. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And then thank you, Eudoxia and family. Thank you, Madam Pratikshya, and then the entire team of Eudoxia. It is my pleasure to be with Eudoxia time and again. And directly I will go towards my presentations. Okay, screen sharing is not allowed. So can you just...
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure if it is visible.
It's visible, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So to the entire participants of INFES 2022, greeting and good afternoon, good morning, everyone. This is Hemlal from Bhutan. I know that in such type of conference, we'll have a lot of technical sessions, which will always try to drag us to different field, but I will try to draw attention more towards the general prospects on the science and technology focus that we need to do for thinking of our better tomorrow. And this is something quite crucial. So I'll try to talk from the general prospect so that participant will pick it from there for their research in near days to come. My presentation actually is broken down into these three part: background part, then pandemic impact lens. How can we visualize now and future? If we don't visualize, who is going to visualize? And then the role of science and technology in shaping our world for better tomorrow. As I said, I am from Bhutan, a small country, Bhutan, and then it is basically having its own rich tradition and culture. Being a small country, we are mostly into spicy food habitat. I should say bit spicy than what we get in India also. Then in terms of our dress and attire, we are more towards a unique dress culture also, and then each type of dress and then its unique niche will identify that what level of people we are, and then it is a differentiation as well too. And if you try to see our structures looks as shown in the figure, and then basically we don't have multi-storied buildings in Bhutan, but very small 5 to 6 storied building as of now, and then all building with roof. This is how the Bhutan is it, and that is it background. And then regarding me, I work at Royal University of Bhutan. To be more specific, I work at Jigme Namgyal Engineering College under Royal University of Bhutan. Now, I just like to draw attention of participants from this point, like, is it not a time for us to think and act? Because if you take the case of our life, if we live 78 years, then in reality is to do something wonder, to do something innovative, to do something creative. We just have a 9 year with us. If you just take a lifespan of 78 years, other years, if you can see, we break down into different activities, and then a lot of our times get wasted, and then less than 10 years is there with us to do something innovative, something creative, and then something to contribute to this mother world, which has proven us worthy currently. So what is that? Can we act on that? And as I was trying to share earlier, that COVID-19 and post-COVID-19 are two things that is going on parallelly now. There are a lot of pressing issues that we are facing, issues ranging from social impacts, issue ranging from economic impacts. These two issues has not left anyone untouched. Every one of us has been impacted by this. Then we are forced to live into new normal. New normal is the reality. It has not become the options. It is becoming a reality. So in new normal, what I personally feel is that the research and then linkages becomes quite crucial to bridge and then move ahead in making the better life as well as proving our contributions for already the impacted societies. Now, when I am trying to share that we are living on new normal with a researcher mentality with us, today we have academicians and then global researchers in this platform who are more thirsty about research, carrying out the research. But in current times and the days to come, what is our priorities? Our priorities, can we try to channel it from the regional requirement? Because our region is being impacted the most. If we are to take a research, we are the best person to understand what is the regional requirements. Then from that, we can pick it. A nation as a whole is getting impacted. So what can be our national requirement? Can we be part of that? Can we be the contributors to solve the national priorities, national concern of current time? Then obviously global impact is being there because of this pandemic and post-pandemic. So can we? So our research has to now definitely try to trigger from these three domains. Whether we talk from the regional perspectives, whether we talk from the national perspectives or a global perspectives, at the end of the day, in current times, what we are trying to be challenged or what we are trying to be thoughtful of is like the SDGs. SDGs track was something not that smooth, but this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, has further deteriorated the slow progress of SDGs that we are facing. COVID-19 has not left SDGs goal tools. If you try to see 8 of the goals of COVID-19 SDGs has been critically being impacted by COVID-19. Now, in the thirst of solving post-pandemic situations, we need to align ourselves in addressing these SDGs as well as the pandemic impacts because of this too. Then our focus has to be drawn. How can we focus? Where can we contribute as a researcher, as an academician? There are a lot of high exposures and moderate exposures domain of life or domains of concerns have been impacted by pandemic. This has a direct or indirect link with SDGs as a whole. So our actions has to be, our research, our academic approach has to be more aligned towards addressing all these high exposure and moderate exposures, giving priority to these areas of research and development. Can we focus our research and development in these areas? Can we be the part of solutions for already impacted societies working on this? Can we revive that? Can we put our values on it? And definitely, as I was already saying earlier, that when we are talking about the research, regional requirement, national requirement, and global requirements becomes very, very prominent. And definitely, when I am saying that, obviously our focus has to be on applied research. That means now, if you want to do anything, then we need to do applied research, a research that can bring solutions, a research that can be the part of the current situational challenges, research that can revive the socio-economic welfare of the societies. So in this applied research, we should focus on direct research, a research that is bringing a direct solutions to a problem, a research that is directly contributing to our social and economic welfare of our societies, our people. While saying so, am I not talking about that we have to think from the lens of problem-based learning? Can problem-based learning be the reality in current time now? Can we infuse problem-based learning in our research, in our academic, and then bring this applied research, which has a direct benefit to our societies as well as the economic, which is of a concern in current time. Saying so, science and technologies becomes a driver for any research or any development that we think of. If you try to see the science and technologies are correlated in one way or other, like science is something that will always ask us to innovate, ask us to do something better. Technology is something that we use science to solve certain issues. So this science and technologies go simultaneously, but definitely science and technology is not a domain which is something that we should forget about. Like technology always use science to solve problem, as I said, but science uses technology to make new discoveries. So science focus on discoveries, technologies focus on actions to mitigate the needs. So trying to see the science has its own potential, science has its own thirst. Some of the saying, if you try to say science of today is the technology of tomorrow, then if that is so, can we invest on science? Can we invest on technology? Can academic institutions reinforce science and technologies? Can they augment their science and technology capabilities? So this is something which we need to think, and researchers to apply this. Everything said and done, like science and technologies are actually a bridging or a bridging gap. If you try to see from this slide, it is a bridging gap because every field of concern is linked with science and technology. Somebody cannot say that I am from arts, I am from commerce. For me, science and technologies are not required. Science and technologies are for engineers, are for technical people. This is totally wrong. This is obviously wrong. Science and technologies are there for any profession. Then what this science is heading in current times, and how is the future? Obviously, science is something that has given us a quality of life that we think of. Definitely because of science, we are able to solve problems holistically in a better way. Always it is a science that teaches us to be more spectacle on whatever we are doing, whatever problem that we are thinking of, whatever discoveries that we are trying to sort for. Now is a time for us to really make a lot of discoveries. And then obviously it is because of science that has given us a trust, a belief to really depend on something, to really trust on something. So obviously science has created more scopes for job also. Science is actually a builder of job. Then looking at from the technological point of view, technology has always aided us to get the reliable information, a better information, because when we think about academic, when we think about research, information becomes quite crucial. It has provided us an opportunities for effective learning. Definitely it has created avenue to explore better technologies day by day. And everything said and done, it has teaches us how to communicate, learn, and think in current time. So in overall, science and technologies has developed or help in the civilizations. Civilizations, you try to think from either a good way or bad way, but it has contributed towards civilizations. Technologies is an asset in our day-to-day life. Obviously, technology and new technology are double edges of a sword. If you use it professionally, if you use it for a good cause, it can bring good results, or vice versa. And definitely technological changes are the priorities of socio-economic development. So taking that into considerations, whenever we try to see any problems, we need to always do a foresight exercise, intent to identify promising and emerging technologies to solve our problem, to do things better in an efficient way. Science and technologies are continuously growing. In a recent times, in 20th century and 21st centuries that we are heading, science and technologies has sharply taken a root. That means that has become a reality. if you try to think what is not going on currently, Internet of Things, big data, artificial intelligence, this has become realities of current time. We talk about neurotechnologies, nano and micro satellites. This has something popped up. Are we doing our research in this domain in solving? Try to see the smart nanomaterials. Try to see additive and subtractive manufacturing process, advances in energy storage, and so on and so forth. Blockchains, microbiologies, synthetic biologies. So these are the domains of science and technologies that is really heating up in current times. So that is where when we try to think about economic, when you think about the societies, everything is from environment. So the integrations of this, the nexus of environment, social, economic with science and technologies need to be thought very, very critically with clear understanding about each other's impacts as well as contributions. Ultimately, what we are trying to see in now or tomorrow is the sustainabilities of what we have been doing. So we need to really understand that science and technologies are our invaluable properties. So we need to understand that. And definitely we are heading towards the industrial regulations, industry regulations 5, then where mass customizations and cyber physics, cognitive systems are gaining the momentums. Our contributions in this domain is something very much demanded in our academic as well as research fund. So we need to shift our focus to the industrial 5 revolutions. For doing that, in individual of us, what is important? We need to build our creativity. We need to be innovative. So in current times, there is a lot of demand for creativity and innovations. We need to really work on this domain. Obviously, as a teacher, as academicians, we should teach our students for a 21st century's requirement, and learners should be thirsty for this 21st century's skills, which is more of a cognitive realizations of cyber physics. So that is how life is starting from the Stone Age towards the 21st centuries, and we need to move with this tide. Obviously, in thirst for academic and in thirst for research, we should always try to value in this new normal the intellectual property, specifically when we are doing the academic work and research work. We'll end up not respecting somebody's intellectual property right, copyright, and that is where, if you want your work to be valued by somebody's, you should also value somebody's work and critically acknowledging the innovations of others' intellectual property is always being sought. So finally, like I give these 2 diagrams, we see science, society, and technologies are the root of our living. So in first diagram, we could see all of us trying to surround this science, technology, and societies. And in second diagram, opposite, we are being surrounded by science, technology, and societies. I always opt that we should be in first diagram, like we should control science, technology, and then societies. Then only we live a world that we want. Otherwise, if it is other way, diagram 2, then that is a disaster that we are inviting. So science and technology has innovations, creativity, betterment, but if you use it wisely, otherwise there is always a threat. So with this, I'd like to end here, and thank you so much. Back to you, Dr. Pitts.